I'm traditional, but in the most non-traditional ways. I want to get married, but I do not want a wedding. I feel like the vows between the husband and wife are so intimate and vulnerable, and that should be shared between husband and wife. That is not to put, on a show for our friends and family. I basically feel like my love is not a show. And the thought of paying thousands of dollars to entertain our friends and family with our love is nauseating to me. Now, I understand them wanting to see us get married. Cool. Let's sell tickets to our wedding and let the guests fund the wedding. But if it's up to me, spending $20,000+ in one day, let's put a down payment on a large property. Let's invest or something to where we can get, a return on our investment. I just see wedding day as throwing thousands of dollars down the drain for a few hours. And in the 10 years that I've been doing hair, every woman who's had a wedding, they always say, if I could do it over again, I would not have a wedding. I would just go elope and, have something super small or something cheap. But they all regret spending so much for one day.
Here are the reasons why I don't want a wedding. These are all my opinion. Just my opinion. Doesn't have to be your opinion. I know people are going to come for me on this first one, but I genuinely feel like I would be so embarrassed to be walking down an aisle with everybody looking at me. Like, that's just not, it's not me. And I would be very uncomfortable with that. In my mind, it's an expense. This is too, by the way. It's an expense that makes absolutely zero sense. I don't see why you would spend that much money on an event that's for other people. Maybe I'm selfish, but I don't want to do that. It sounds like the worst day of my life, to be honest, and I would never spend that much money on the worst day of my life. I already feel like this is going down the wrong path. People are going to be pissed. I absolutely adore my fiance. I want to be with him for the rest of my entire life. He's the best person I know. But I don't need to share every detail of our relationship with other people. Again, this is my opinion. That's it. I just don't need to share it with other people. Lastly, I'm a person that gets very overwhelmed very easily. I really don't like to plan stuff like this if it's for me. It feels sort of uncomfortable again. And obviously you can tell I have my own individual problems. It doesn't interest me at all. And again, I really feel like this would be more of a stressful situation for me than anything else. And so I'd rather not tie stress into the beginning of our lifelong commitment. Not to say that weddings aren't great for other people. I think especially if you have really close relationships with all of your family and extended family, this would be an amazing way to bring everybody together. So I love that for everybody else. That's not my world. That's just not what my world looks like. So all of those reasons, plus that, I'm out on weddings.
Man, listen. What if all women were like this? These weddings, these shows that they have going on, women love a fairy tale. They love the pageantry. They like to be shown that it's their day. This is my day to be beautiful, so on and so forth, right? The pageantry is just ridiculous. And I used to ask this question many years ago. Would you rather have the 20K? And it's funny that she said 20K because I used to ask that question. I used to use that same amount. Would you rather have 20,000 to put towards a property, or would you rather have 20,000 put towards your wedding? Almost all women said they would rather have the 20K to go towards the wedding. Because women they're just vain like that. Women are very vain. They don't care about anything else other than that wedding, that accomplishment. The marriage, the hell with the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Spend this money on me so I can show off even for people that don't even like me. And that's what a lot of people do that are vain. They want to do things to impress people that don't even like them. And the men, they're even crazy to spend that type of money because a lot of times dudes just do it for the women. They're not into that like that. And especially a lot of these folks, they don't even last that long. If it's based upon a wedding and how much a ring costs, if that's what a marriage is about, I'm good on that. I'm good on that, baby. And if a woman says she won't marry you unless she has a wedding or X amount on a ring, then that's not the woman for you. That's a red flag off top. But a lot of you guys are like, And I'm glad we had both a white woman and a black woman to talk about this right here. And it's funny, the first lady, she said that she was a hairdresser, and she said almost all of them regretted it. Now that they look at it now. Because I think a woman, for a chance to have a wedding, she will marry a dude that she's not into. Most women, a lot of times, they marry the dude. I think there was a survey going around that most women settle for the dudes they marry. Almost all of them. They don't want to really marry these dudes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a funny thing that goes on. But we got another clip. It just seems to be an unpopular opinion, but we got another clip where a lot of women are coming across like this. So let's get into it.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I'm going to share it. This is the main reason why I will not be having a wedding. And no, it's not because of the cost, although that is a big reason. Okay, so my fiance and I got engaged like 2 weeks ago. We've been together for 8 years, since we were like 17 years old. And we've discussed all these things and have made our decision to not have a wedding. And one of the biggest reasons for me is because I am a very anxious person. I simply cannot imagine standing up there on the altar and having the most intimate moment of my life with my partner while all these eyes are on us, watching us. That is the most uncomfortable, anxiety-provoking thought to me. Like, that actually makes me ill to think about. I'm not even like being dramatic. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but any time that I have attended a wedding, when it comes to the part to like exchange vows and kiss, to me, it feels like when you're watching a movie with your parents and a sex scene comes on. Like, it feels so uncomfortable, you want to look away. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be there. There has to be somebody else that feels that way. But I just personally feel like that would take away from my moment so much. I wouldn't even be able to feel comfortable or enjoy it because I just know I would be so in my head and just feel very uncomfortable. I just want that moment to be between me and my partner. We'll have our elopement and then we'll come home and we'll have a party afterwards with friends and family. And I think another big reason for this is because my parents are divorced. I have been hyper independent from a very young age. I love my parents and I love my family, but I'm not.
I just had to stop it before we get into the rest of the clip. That's what the previous lady said. You get anxiety and you're doing this, you're putting on a show in front of all these people. These vows, you have a preacher or someone who's ordained or whatever have you to perform these ceremonies, and you're doing these vows in front of this person for everybody else to watch. And it's kind of like, For some of you, it's the happiest day of your life, but at the cost of it, I mean, come on. But I feel like it's sensible to have something that's modest, something that can be discreet. You elope, and hey, by the way, we're celebrating this afterwards. Let's have a little small, intimate reception and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So let's finish up to see what she has to say.
Not super close to them. And this is just how I feel. Like, it's nothing personal against them. It's just a matter of how my partner and I feel comfortable spending our day together. The most intimate time of our lives. I also don't want to deal with the stress and anxiety of who's invited, who's not invited, the drama between my parents and my dad's crazy girlfriend, and just all the planning in general. That's like the worst thing I could do for my mental health is take on that load of planning a wedding. And no, I'm not paying a few grand to hire somebody to do that for me. My fiance and I want to buy a house. So that's my priority over having some big extravagant wedding. In today's world, you just simply can't afford that unless you have parents that are just throwing money at you, which in my case is not the reality. So it would be coming out of my pocket, and I would prefer not to go into debt. And like I said, my priority is to have a house with my fiance because we both still live with our parents right now. And I totally understand why people who have big families or are very close with their families want a wedding and want that big celebration. But in my case, I just don't want it. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's just the reality right now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm so tired of like the pressure around getting married and having a wedding. At the Christmas family parties, people were already asking like when our wedding date is gonna be. I'm sorry? Like, holy shit. Calm down. Wedding culture is weird and it's up. And I won't be taking part in it. Thank you.
Now, automatically, I know you guys are probably going to be like, well, that's why she said it, because she lives with her parents and he lives with his parents. And obviously, these guys can't afford a wedding, right? I mean, that could be true, too. But at the same time, living with your parents is not so much a bad thing if you're saving up for times like this. right? And she may have understanding. She may have known him for a while. So it's a different dynamic. But guys, let me know what you think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys. That is your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.